All right, back again in the conference championship against Denver Broncos. Did beat him earlier this year in the regular season. It's a good game, probably one of the better games that I played this year. Second closest to maybe the Jets in the playoffs here that I just had. He runs a lot of cover 2, cover 6. He's got a really good team. But yeah, just gotta do our thing. Try to get the run established, which is no small feat against a good front seven. Loves to scramble with his quarterback. On defense, we will be spying basically in any passing situation. We'll have to spy because he has a really good quarterback that can scramble really well. That's a great run for us. 5 yards, we'll take it. Just trying to keep a little bit of stress on him. Keep the stress on early. Pretty good run game last game. I think I averaged 4.2 yards a carry with Bush. He's been surprisingly good as a starter. He's only got some absurdly low speed, but yeah, he's really strong. I used to use him as my thumper. I also have Robert Kelly on the team, so I've been treating Kelly as my second string backup thumper. Just starting this kid. He's been playing well. My offensive line is really good, but last few weeks they pretty disappointing in their ability to move anyone. So far in this game, they're looking pretty good. Great throw, great catch. Just working underneath that safety after clearing the middle. Go to a staple play here, and I was expecting cover 2 there. It's based on pre-snap alignment. Doesn't always mean it. I mean, that's what's going to happen, but there are ways to disguise that. That's a good call. It's that coverage. Alright. Offense moving the ball well so far. Oh, I had a huge hole there. That really played like it was man. I was really hoping that last big play with my tight end would have scored. It's very hard to score in the red zone, as most of you are probably aware. Great run. Great pickup on my pulling guard. So now that my starter is tired, it'd be a good time to go to the backup thumper, Robert Kelly. Come out with what has become our staple goal line formation throughout the season, and depending on how he's lined up. Terrible block by 64. And that was probably there too, unfortunately. It is Von Miller. So a good example of what I was saying earlier. Has a great team, difficult to match up against front seven. There's nobody on my defense that's on the level of someone like Von Miller. So can't be too upset about him making the kind of plays that you'd expect Von Miller to make. It's what he does. go ahead and put in my run stop personnel in this formation. Thor Jackson, Teflo, and Mingo. Good. Not like how much space he had to run that. He does have a really good O-line. It's not super unexpected, but showed underneath there, and so it went aggressive on the zone. Was hoping that that would give me a little extra something in run support. It's not the case. Picks. And that could end up being a touchdown-saving play. I mean, obviously it was, but if I can't score here, it ends up being a huge play that he just made. Props to him. We'll just keep this simple. We can't punch it in from the one with a strong run game and a good O-line. That is 100% our fault. Lost a yard. Alright, let's try this. Give us a little more flexibility in our run game to go to this under center formation. And it's just treated as inside outside depending on which gaps he's focused on. Give me some space. Losing yards. Thought I might get him on that. Alright, good. Just ran stretch action and cut it back on the over pursuit. Alright. Starting out strong. Defensive play. It's the kind of thing, yeah, the result's good. I mean, that's obviously important. From the, when I say the result's good, I mean the pick. That's great. It's good to see the defense playing well. Not one of those games where Madden makes your defenders all play with super low awareness and all that jazz. But the bigger thing is, I like the fact that now he's going to be thinking about that. Certainly over the next couple of possessions, and especially if I can get another turnover, that's one of those blood in the water moments that you look for in these games to get momentum, grab momentum, and keep it. So big thing is not to give up any huge plays at this part of the game. Oh, and it almost happened. I was shaded underneath there. Almost certainly should have been a pick six. The linebacker that looked like he wanted to pick it was shaded underneath and had no one else anywhere remotely in his vicinity to cover. So 100% should have been a pick six on that. That guy also has 80 zone, 85 play recognition, and is my best linebacker. So that's unfortunate, but it's okay. Can't expect it to work out every time. I've been shading underneath consistently, just waiting to see when he's going to start killing me with, maybe seams or something. I am going to guard this left seam here. Alright. And as I said that, he went for the seam. I guarded mine pretty well, but yeah, CPU did not guard the other seam well at all. It's okay. Best thing I have at this point to protect the seams in pass defense is rolling safeties into buzz coverage. So I'll be doing a lot of that this game. I can generally trust the buzz safety to cover his seam, and then it's just up to me to get the other seam. This is probably a counter. Oh, good run. Great cut. Thought I was going to stop him for about a yard after the fullback picked up my blitzing linebacker, but he picked him up in such a way that he was just getting blown over. But Yeah, didn't make the tackle. So, play. I could have played a little more aggressively. I did really what his job was, but yeah, could have played it more aggressively. Don't like people being able to run the ball like that against me. 4, 5, 6 yards to carry, that is what you don't want. 1, 2 yards to carry and then pop a big run, that you can kind of live with, as long as that big run's not like a 70-yard touchdown. What I mean is like 1, 2, 3-yard runs with a 15 to 20 mixed in. That's not too bad. Gotta be careful. This formation has a outside run in it. And 2 of my backers took false steps there. No idea why. That run play that he ran is a very mediocre one. So, looks like it's going to be one of those games where my secondary is going to play well, but front 7 is not. A couple things I can do about that. Mainly it's, keep a safety rolled into the box and start blitzing an extra guy. And force him to pass the ball a little bit. See if that's enough. Oh, that is disgusting. I mean, every gap is accounted for, and he's able to just run it right up the gut. That I do not like to see. Especially after, here's an issue with Madden. I very aggressively brought everyone up. The last thing he should be able to do is run the ball against that look. Pass? Sure. Absolutely. Beat me with play action? Yep, 100%. Run that play? No, sir. Again, that is horrific. That is horrifically bad against that look that he's able to run outside like that. So I'm actually going to have to start manually, and this is an issue in Madden, for your guys to play contain certain games based on the Madden pre-dice roll, pre-game dice roll script. You may actually have to move your linebackers 1/2 to 1 hold technique outside to get them to actually play outside. Otherwise, if you're watching slow motion replays, you notice your guys just getting suctioned inside consistently. And that's what happened there. 0 chance in that alignment that he should have been able to run outside. So I'm going to have to respond to Madden issues as opposed to football issues in Madden ways, sadly. It's not what you want to have to do. Okay. All right, so far offensively, we've been doing some good things. I'm not sure why he has to flip the play, almost every time. I was hoping to get one broken tackle. Would have made that a pretty huge play there. Oh, cannot let that guy slide off that tackle so easily. I realized he was blitzing there, but he was aligned in such a way that the blitz was coming from the outside, and I had that guard isolated with my, or that tackle end isolated with my guard. Should have been a pretty easy first down pickup there. I was hoping for maybe a couple. I had 4 potential blocks that could have been picked up there, and 0 of them got picked up. That's annoying. Just wanted any one of them to get picked up. Alright. Hoping for a cover 3 look here so I can run this curl flat to the field side. Feel like this is probably cover 2. I know that seems obvious from the alignment. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. And it is. Good. Good execution on that spot route. That was good to see. So we got a lot of options here on 2nd and 5. Situation to be. Not as good as 2nd and 4, of course, but still pretty good. Oh, nice run, big fella. Let's go. I just love watching that guy run. Love big backs in this game. They're not always as good as you'd like them to be, but every once in a while. I feel like on this slider set they're a little better than default, for sure. So that's nice. Oh. I was asking a lot on that throw. It's okay. Basically going to run the same thing here, but just slightly different. Make it work. Good. Oh, that is terrible. Okay, so I had him beaten by a ton. I mean, first of all, look at it. He's running cover 1. I ran a corner out with my best, fastest receiver. Had him beat by 3 steps. What does Madden decide to do? With me giving the input of throwing over the top into the outside, underthrow the ball. 100% should have been a touchdown, and the game, based on dice rolls, just decided to make it a pick instead. That's very frustrating. Those are the kind of things that you would understand if you have a bad quarterback and a bad wide receiver. When that's a matchup of 290 overall, type players, that just cannot happen. Okay, so again, he's getting free outside releases based off of pregame dice rolls of how they're going to play the run. That is very unfortunate. If you've watched any of my other streams for the year, you'll notice I consistently have good run defense, because I control the gaps, match up well, and play tendencies. So the Madden solution to this is what I just am doing here, just barely moving those guys outside. Makes a significant difference. Something you shouldn't need to do. Makes all the difference in the world. Great play by Green. I don't know if maybe he's playing on a camera that's kind of up close or something, but that I feel like he didn't see Green there, and I think he would have had he been on it. And also, I was playing underneath which I have been most of the game. So I'm giving up things over the top and forcing him to go medium to long in the passing game, which so far he doesn't seem super comfortable doing. If he's playing the middle linebacker here, he's not. Or maybe he switched. We'll see. Okay, good. He's going to over-pursue. Oh, actually, he played that pretty well. I was hoping he'd be on the middle linebacker because he's been over-pursuing a lot when he's on the middle, but he played that well. Okay, let's try this. So far, his run game has kept him in this. Passing game has done just nothing. Yeah. Oh, get a stiff arm, get a block. Big man doing work. That's what we like to see. All right. Let's see if he goes to... He runs a lot of cover 2. This play is pretty good against cover 2. It's designed to beat it. Puts the middle linebacker in a high-low bind. So, let's see if we can... Definitely should have slid there. I feel like as I was running, in my mind, I turned into a running back. I don't know. I didn't even cover the ball. It's incredibly reckless. Okay, good. Just following those inside power blocks. Still disgusted by that interception on the last drive. I mean, I called the perfect play. I executed it perfectly, and Madden just randomly decided that it was going to be a pick. That's, ugh. It's just the worst. The worst thing about Madden. Those kind of things. All right, I'm gonna run this the other way. Same action. I'm gonna run screen. We're just kind of in that area where you can still run a screen. See if maybe he tries to blitz it, or like some kind of cover 2 blitz maybe. I will say, and this isn't necessarily something I've seen a lot in this league, at least compared to others. I've seen people running screens in situations where like it makes absolutely no sense, like from the 1 yard line and things like that. That was actually pretty well executed, but again, has a very good defense. All right, I'm gonna stay in this heavier look. Like to just run the quarter out with either a touchdown or a field goal here, if possible. We're gonna let this clock run. No reason for us to give him any more time on the clock than we have to. This is a situation where sometimes you get a good look. Good chip block on the outside from Wilson. Let's see if this is one of those times. And no, instantly sacked because the play was run incorrectly. That's always fun. All right, so now we're in a situation where we just, I don't know why he's not calling a timeout. He must have a lot more faith in my offense from this down to distance than I do. But yeah, okay. If he plays everything deep, which he probably will, which he should, I can just hit one of these guys underneath and, hope for magic. Yeah, not bad. Not magic, but not bad. And he was using the guy who was in man on the tight end, so, had I gotten like a lucky block on the outside or something, that was a first down, a touchdown. Was not to be, but no complaints from me. Play worked out better than mediocre. I did keep a timeout. Get this prepped with the right players. I guess this is fine. And based on that, I'm going to play. I actually kind of expect him to run. That's why I shifted a little bit towards the run strength. People do often try to pop big runs in these situations. But now that he's 2nd and 11, I feel like he's going to be pressured more so to. Okay, man, we might actually get a shot at this ball. That's a dream scenario at this point in the game. How in the world, of all the things to work there, that is not the one. That is not the one that should. That's terrible. All right. We like to see that. We definitely like to see that. You know, I would go to man here if I had the kind of team that could run man. Anytime this year that I've gone to man situations like this, it's been a disaster. Like giving up huge plays and oftentimes right in the areas of the field where you would expect them to, you know, have no chance at making a play. All right. Yeah. Another heave-ho and over. He could potentially try to work the sidelines in 4 seconds. He's going to a heavier set because he's going to try to... He's going to look and see if he can maybe get a Madden touchdown run if I went a little bit lighter. I should go nickel here. So obviously a little riskier, but... Okay. And he gets the ball at half. So we're going to do that all over again. This would be a very different game if that easy touchdown pass had not been intercepted. 20-7, which would be a much more comfortable situation. This is very much still a game. One score, under a full touchdown and extra point. My defense is playing very well. Offense is playing very well. Score overall is not a reflection of how the game has gone, but that could change at any moment. This guy is a good player, and yeah, at no point would I ever be overconfident against him. It's just open every time. Ugh. It's disgusting. The limited amount of adjustments that I can go to. I actually compressed inside on that because I was willing to give up a little more outside to stop the inside. And still had issues. So it's been a theme this game. You know, he's not stupid. I'm sure he's noticed it too. He's going to keep going at it. And I 100% do not blame him. Okay, that was good. That was actually the first time that they've played that action properly and gotten at least 1 or 2 block sheds. Again, I was shading the zones underneath. I did bring an extra man. Here, 2nd and 8, you feel like the offense doesn't have any advantage, but he's some of the stuff he likes to do, I just don't know, what I'm looking at. Oh, great hit. Tough play, too. It's a nice wheel route, and I'd say good play call, but great hit. He probably should be in 3rd and 2 right now, instead of 3rd and 8. Oh, terrible play by my safety. Wow. And that's one of those situations where, for no reason, it was flipped. So my inferior safety was playing that side of the field, and it put me at a disadvantage. Still, he has, in that play, 91 zone, high play rec, all that jazz. So that was a Madden bailout. You should not be able to throw right at the middle of the field against most C coverage, and that is something that I've been seeing all year. Work the seams? Sure. 100%. Especially the way that I've been playing against him. Absolutely should be able to work the seams with some success, but throw right at the middle of the field safety? Heck no. Not at all. Good play. Well executed. Put me in a good bind with my linebacker. He might have canceled the play action on that, which is not something anyone should be doing in this league, but still, good play. Yeah, I was expecting that. That formation has a very limited amount of plays in it, and the run plays has that one very good run play and then a bunch of mediocre ones. So, not super frightened by it. So with some expectation of him wanting to work the seams here, I'm gonna go Buzz. And I just gotta make sure that it's so my best safety, Green, is still playing the middle of the field, which is very important. Oh! Yeah, I should have spied him. I know he loves to run. He's looking to run consistently with his quarterback. It's just the one time in a obvious passing situation that I didn't spy him. And I should have. It's my fault. God, just constantly hitting those gaps that everything is crashed, everything is inside, and for some reason his O-line is still opening up the hole there. It's very frustrating. I know you probably see there's bear in my playbook. I never really run it. It's awful. The alignment is just horrible. It does have some limited usage against some very specific fronts, but for the most part, it's trash. Great play. For once, they're actually playing the interior as expected. That actually may be only the second time this entire game they played the run as called. We're going to stay in base because of the down and distance. Right there. Come on now. Oh, disgusting. Disgusting. It's a pretty good play, but there's literally 3 guys around that, and all of them should have been watching him through their zones, and instead they all backed up. The problem I have with it is not, I mean, he did nothing wrong there, obviously. The problem I have with the way Madden handles certain plays is they don't treat threats in the way that you would expect them to. So, you know, the issue in that situation is there was nobody, the guys that moved away from that route, there was no one threatening them. That's the problem. Had there been anyone else threatening them, creating some kind of spacing and bind, that's perfectly fine. But when there's no one threatening, that's an issue. And, you know, that's something that, for whatever reason, Madden has still not found a decent way of handling that in the game. Extremely frustrating. All right. Oops, I might have called the wrong play. Let's see here. I'm going to wait for his guy to get across because I'm not super pressed for time. Oh, God. Just got instantly blown up, unfortunately. Right. I'll just go with a safe call here. Just an easy middle and then underneath read. Middle seam underneath is the actual read order. And that certainly gets mucked up by InstaShed. The 3rd and 1 drive. That's always fun. These are the ways in which Madden influences games significantly. Wow. I don't know how I kicked that out so badly out of bounds. So far, the most noticeable EA intervention in the game has been how my run defense does not play the edge at all. So if he's smart, which I'm assuming he is, as one of the better players in the league, they'll just keep exploiting that. So I have to do this to get that guy to play his gap responsibility correctly. Okay, I played that well. Still got more yards than I would have liked, but not bad. The amount of time that he has when he runs the ball in situations where every gap is accounted for, it's stunning. It's unbelievable that he's able to sit there behind a gap that's closed and not get tackled. It's all game it's been happening. I cannot even imagine what kind of advantage that would give us if we were able to do that kind of thing. All right. This is a scary situation because he could certainly pop something over the top at a very low risk, right over the middle. I mean, we're basically, yeah, or that. I was just about to say we're committed to the interior run, but apparently not committed enough. Bear in mind we did have 6 against 5, so more than enough numbers to stop that from happening. But again, it's one of those games where Madden is making it very difficult as the person controlling the defense to stop the run. So something that has to be accounted for, and Yeah. That time, fortunately, we had that free release defender on the outside. Might not seem like a lot, but he's got that 1-point advantage, and it's actually looms pretty large in this situation. Because even if he gets a field goal here, it just changes the situation. This is horribly lined. Okay, I'm so glad that the quarter ran out there because I have to be in buzz coverage against that look. Otherwise, the zones will not play it correctly. All right. So anticipating that look again, I'm just going to be ready to come out and buzz. I keep meaning to add that as a hot route to that formation, but keep forgetting. All right, who's in the deep zone? Good. That is how we would want it to be done. Oh, Madden, please. Come on now. That is exactly what we were hoping he would do. 88 overall. Amazing playmaker, TJ Green. I mean, that's a disgusting level of interference by Madden in game outcomes at that point. And for those that are just watching earlier in the game, I called a perfect play against cover one, ran a corner with Imam wide open for a touchdown, and they forced the quarterback to overthrow it by like a million yards. Just extremely frustrating. It's good play call. Very conservative. And, I should have known better just based on the fact of how badly the pregame dice roll had determined the run defense is going to play. I really should have taken that into consideration in my play call, and I did not. And that's just good Madden metagaming. Now, again, like that missed interception, perfect example. Now look at the situation that he's in compared to where he would have been had I picked that off. There's a disturbing amount of Madden interference in game outcomes with those kind of things. That and entire defensive units playing a certain way throughout the game based on pregame dice rolls. I mean, just running so. If you slowed this down and you cut it up and watched other games this year, you would see why this is happening. The linebacker I had a free linebacker there attacking the running back after everyone was accounted for, and he jogged as slow as he possibly could to the ball. That's the difference between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8. Any normal game where that Madden pregame dice roll hadn't happened, that's a 2nd and 8. All of my linebackers have very high pursuit, very high play recognition, good tackling. Good. No reason that a linebacker should be jogging to the ball the way that one did on the previous snap. 3rd and 5. I'm assuming he won't go base, but he might. Let's see. Okay. My linebacker on the side that he just passed the ball to literally did nothing at the snap of the ball, ran down to the line of scrimmage, covered no one, and then stopped and let him catch that. That's come on, EA. That's terrible. And he has 80 zone coverage, I believe, and very high play recognition. Again, manipulating the outcome in a way that is just, it's terrible. Play calling needs to really matter. Play calling and player ratings, they've got to matter. Okay. Making plays in the run game. It's good. Is he going to go 11? I feel like he'll go 11. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll go 11 here. He does. Okay. This is horrible alignment. And another amazing animation that gives him an extra 5 yards. Okay, man. All right. So I didn't have time to get proper alignment there. I should have called a play that's a little easier to make sure that you're in good alignment. Sometimes that formation defensively just has a huge struggle getting aligned properly. For one, I think against about half of all formations, it aligns flipped incorrectly. So that's one issue. Anyways. Alright. So we're passing in a little bit here. But yeah, the amount of animations, just in the last 3 drives, the number of animations that have benefited him, it's astounding. It's at least 10-0 at this point. That is something that I just hate seeing because it influences the outcome so significantly. And again, if you notice, number 54, 89 pass blocking, literally fell on the ground on that play. He literally fell on the ground against one of his weaker pass rushers. So, again, influence in the game to an extent that is awful. Play calling needs to matter. That was the play that I called, specifically designed to beat the cover 2 zone that he was in. And I had my guy. But you can't account for the insta-sack. Alright. Oh my god. The animation that they just gave that receiver. He's on a drag. He's beaten his man by at least 5 yards. One of the best quarterbacks in the game, bear in mind, throws it behind him while pass leading to the outside. Hey, like, come on, Madden. Play calling and execution has got to matter. It has to. Great play call, perfect read, perfect button input, horrific dice roll that determined the result of that play. Now again, where this guy's lined up, he will not play his gap responsibility correctly. Okay, I'm going to have to pressure the inside. Oop, not the right formation. Cannot afford to spare a timeout. Oh my god. Green decided to make up for the dropped interception, apparently. 9 tackles by Green, that's not a good sign. That's because my front seven is playing horrifically bad. In a normal game, you'd have 3 tackles by this point in the game. Oh, it's a pick 6. Ugh. Ugh. Honestly, the way that the animations have been playing out, I would not be surprised if he completely whiffed on the pick 6 and gave up the first down. That would not be remotely a surprise. Oh, a punt return opportunity. Not bad, not bad. Okay, this is wide open. If this plays out as it should. Man, I couldn't throw it because he was usering it, and I just couldn't. I couldn't risk the possibility of a user animation there turning into a pick 6, as they often do. It turned out that it got blocked really well, but you can't possibly know that. So the right timing for the play, if that gets user, there's just no point in running it. It's the amount of times they could just press triangle and get a super pick. Very high. Oh, Madden, come on. Please let me throw that ball correctly. Great. So, who's playing quarterback for me now? Yeah. I don't think I have a third string quarterback. Oh, great. Good job. Good job, Madden. You literally, in 2 plays, you just decided the outcome of the game. All right. Great. So I'm guessing a punter is now playing quarterback for me. That's fantastic. Two plays in a row, my quarterback got injured, for anyone that wasn't paying attention. This is a punter throwing the ball here. And as you might expect, yeah, broken ribs. Great. Oh, man. Now, for those of you, I'll just apologize ahead of time if anyone thinks my comments are too salty. That is not the intention. And you who actually, not able to return for the game. So I don't have a quarterback for the rest of the game. First time either have been injured all year, by the way. For anyone that, I don't know what he's doing. Anyone that has watched me all year, yes, I win a ton of games, but the reason I'm in the league is not because I care about the wins and losses and all that jazz, but it's in an effort to try to simulate football as much as possible and learn from football and learn football as much as possible from the best simulator that we have on the market, which is Madden Football. It's not a good one, but it's what we have. Building a community around other people who feel the same way, very important. Yeah. He just posted on Facebook. Anyways, last time I lost in the playoffs, it was due to a glitch in the game. I literally gave up 3 points the entire game, and then 3 touchdowns that came on an animation glitch that they patched the following week. I should point out that was against Jim Jupiter. None of those were his fault. There was just there used to be a glitch in the game where the running back, if he got tackled in the backfield, sometimes he would just randomly break a tackle, like 3 or 4 tackles, and then the defense would stop playing the run. They would just give up on the play. Happened to me 3 separate times. The only 3 touchdowns he scored. In fact, the only 3 drives that he had the entire game, other than 1 field goal, was on that specific play that got patched a week later. So that was frustrating. This game, incredibly one-sided in the way that Madden decided for animations to play out. That's just something that you gotta hope as time moves forward they will fix. Another terrible animation from a guy who got a pretty good release and then just ran straight to the inside for no reason. In the regular season when we played, I won by at least a couple scores, and it was just your, run-of-the-mill, how you'd expect to play out. My front 7 played well, as they should, since they're all rated very good against the run. And, overall my defense was stout, and I won by a couple scores. Also didn't lose both of my quarterbacks in the fourth quarter, down by 1 score when they were most needed. But anyways, we know this is part of the game. As many times as this happens to me, it's happened to my opponent. So, it's not something you can be too upset about. I think he's going to play Ron in the Super Bowl. And I think I would put my money on Ron in that one. Barring something like this, all things being equal, Ron is a better player, a better scheme. But then again, sometimes Ron goofs off a lot. So, there's that. There's the goof off factor. I'm not sure that he really takes the game all that seriously, so. And I don't blame him. It's hard to take the game very seriously. Don't know why he's punting here. Assuming he picked the wrong play. Does he know that it's 3rd down? Does he think that it's 4th down? What the heck's going on? I think he thought that it was 4th down. He should have just came out and punt defense. Maybe got a free play there. Someone made a play? Unbelievable. That's literally the first time that's happened all game. That particular kind of animation that should happen quite frequently based on all those guys having 90 block shed. First time in 4 quarters that has happened. Alright, so now it's up to my punter to try to lead the unlikeliest of comebacks. Almost made magic happen. Alright. I mean, honestly, our best bet may be to just, as unlikely as it is that running the ball will help with anything, may still be the best option. I mean, this guy literally cannot throw. I don't know anything in my playbook that makes sense to run with him. So, let's try this. I literally have never had a time when both quarterbacks got injured back-to-back like that. That is a first for me. Okay, that actually was lined up really well for that play to be run, and for some reason, they gave his linebacker the kind of play that mine have not made literally once the entire game. So that's, again, extremely frustrating how one-sided Madden can be in their pregame dice rolls. Would love to see them fix that. And by fix that, I don't mean that both teams should play it wrong. They should both play it according to their ratings. They should both play it with an understanding of how it's supposed to be played. Ugh, Jesus, such a terrible pass. They should both play it. When I say correctly, I mean with the not with an expectation that like a player is going to always play it right, because you can't expect that. But they should play it with a knowledge of, like, this player knows how to do it. It's just some players are more skilled than others, so don't expect the player to play better than he is, but do expect him to play according to his own ratings. Yeah. I'm guessing his pass rating makes it to where he holds onto the ball a lot longer when you press pass, because I definitely passed that forever ago. All right, last play of the game. Yeah, it's about as horribly thrown as you would expect. All right. Sorry that it didn't end up being a good game for anyone that was watching. I was hoping that we would have a SSL Instant Classic, but it was not to be due to situations completely outside of my control, unfortunately. But not the first or last time that will happen. So, signing off. Catch you next season. Good luck in the Super Bowl to the Broncos and the Vikings.